I thought we did a pretty good job. Probably 3/4 of the way through the spring last year, we had an idea that we were going to lose, probably 3 or 4 guys, and that's basically what we lost. I've known for probably 5 weeks that the Yankees were going to sign Bird. I talked with the Yankees a lot when I was traveling with Team USA. They were kind of following our team around, and know some of those guys pretty good, and I knew that they were going to give him money that was a lot better than fifth-round money. I knew that he was going to get $1 million, that they were willing to go to $1 million plus, and so I pretty much wrote him off mentally. A while ago, with Nimmo, we felt like Nimmo was going to sign. I mean, an outfielder that goes in the first round, you get offered $2 million, you probably better sign. If you're a hotshot shortstop or a big-time pitcher, maybe you can pass on it and you'll get it again. But as an outfielder, it'd been tough to maybe see that money again. That'd have been a lot of pressure on us here, to be honest with you. If he passes that money and comes in here and it doesn't go good for a year or two, we're going to start pressing a little bit probably as well. And with Fulmer, he signed early. We knew that he was going to sign halfway through the season, and boy, he just really took off. And if we could have waited about another 6 months to develop like he did, we'd have got him. And then with Howard, Dylan, from Cersei, we felt like he would sign. It kind of went down to the wire, and we knew that if he got close to a couple million, he was going to sign, which is way over second-round money. He's better than a second-round pitcher. But, happy for those guys, disappointed that they didn't come in, but realistically knew that they weren't going to come in. And, I turned my phone off at 11:01 our time, and I knew all that had gone on, and I was good with it, So our focus really has been on the future and really the 7 drafted kids that we kept that are going to make it to campus, plus Trent Daniel, one of our top relievers last year, coming back. That makes 8, and just thinking about the future and all the young players we have in the program. But realistically, we have a lot of older kids and have a chance to have a super season with all that we have coming back. So we're excited.
How worried were you about Daniel because he was in his position whether he'd come back or not?
Well, I think probably the impression that he left you guys when he spoke right at the end of the season that he was open to sign, and but when I met with him, I think deep down he wanted to come back and be the guy, whether he's starting or closing or whatever role he's in, and he's still got another year of what we call bargaining power, being a redshirt junior, have a chance to make some more money, get close to getting that degree. And he knew that he was going to be on a really good team, and I think it all added up. And just real excited to get him back. There's an experienced lefty to go along with Randall Fant and Lynch and Harville coming back. Those are 4 pretty good lefties, and then we got a couple of pretty good ones coming in, a JC kid and then a high school kid that was drafted. So it's nice to have those left-handers, but it's really good to get Daniel back.
Hey, Ficichello's had such a standout freshman year. The guys coming in, you see anybody, 1, 2, 3 of them making an immediate impact?
I think, well, first off, to answer your question, it's hard. I don't want to put that type of pressure on them, but I mean, it's really hard to say because just need to see him at this level. It's such a big jump. There's guys with the skills. It's really then it comes down to the mentality. Are they confident? That's what got Ficichello over the hump. He thought he was pretty good, as you saw. He had a little swagger, sometimes too much, but at least he thought he belonged out there. And we need to get that and instill that into these young guys. But offensively, I mean, Joe Serrano put up some big numbers in Arizona. He's a 12th round pick. Brian Anderson put up some big numbers over there in Oklahoma City. Maybe one of the best athletes coming in here. 6'3", can run, has power, has a tremendous arm, has a little bit of a sore arm. He had 18 home runs this summer in summer ball. Anderson did. I'm surprised Minnesota didn't sign him. They offered him decent, but he had some arm. His arm was bothering him because they also pitched him. We're not going to pitch him here. We're going to use him as an infielder and a hitter, and would never say never, maybe down the road as a sophomore or junior, but we don't need him to pitch with this team. So there are some guys, pitching-wise, there's some good pitchers coming in here, but I don't think that they have to step in and be a star or a conference starter on this team. They just need to, make a contribution and, be ready to help us, down the stretch.
Between Eibner and Cox and Stanek, you kind of had a little run there. High draft picks from high school that you were able to keep. I guess that kind of.
Well, Eibner was a high pick. He was a fourth-round pick, but he never really got offered very much money. That's why that whole Houston Astro scouting department has been changed, I would guess. He was offered, I think he was a third or fourth rounder, and he was offered late third or fourth round money, which was slot money, $300,000 or $400,000. He made a good move coming. Zach Cox was a 20th round pick, but he was offered $800,000. So he turned down a lot of money. Connor Costello was a 16th round pick, and he was offered almost $500,000. I'm not sure what Serrano was offered. I know Anderson was offered a couple hundred plus all his school. So I think that some of these guys will end up being to that caliber, and hopefully one or two will jump up this year. And I think 2013 season, those guys will be right in the middle of it, and they're going to get to learn on the job, but they're going to also get to learn behind some experienced guys, which will be a great situation.
National publications don't wait long after one season is done to start forecasting the next, and it looks like you guys have got a lot of attention, to be a lot of focus on a high rank.
Yeah, I mean, did I let you finish, or should I? Well, I hope so. I mean, that's what we want. I tried to motivate this past year's team many a time, talking about going to Omaha 2 years in a row because I knew we were going next year. I was trying to get under their skin a little bit, and because we had all those young pitchers sitting over there looking back at me, and we were excited. And that's our goal. 2012, we want to go to Omaha, want to win a national championship, and realistically, I said this. We went last fall thinking, wow, this is going to be tough. We're going to have to battle this year in this league, and we had some young guys step up. A couple of older guys had pretty good seasons. Some teams in our league struggled. We found a way to win some games. We won 40 games. This year's team, there's going to be high expectation, no doubt about it. If I look at the Western Division only, LSU got their starting shortstop back. Their second baseman will be a sophomore. Their third baseman didn't sign either, or their third baseman didn't sign. The catcher's back. I mean, they got the whole rotation back. I think Arkansas, LSU, Mississippi State's got a lot of people back. Ole Miss is not happy with the way things went. It's going to be a really good league, and I think that we'll be right in the middle of it and have a chance to win it and plan on winning it. Vandy somehow did it again and kept a first-round pitcher. I don't know how they do it, but that's the way it goes. But yeah, the high expectation is in that locker room right now too. I know there's a lot of guys that are real excited about the upcoming season, and disappointed the way it finished, but hopefully this year we'll have a good year all year, playing probably one of the toughest schedules that we've ever had. At least this will be my 10th year starting with those midweek games, plus that tournament down at Minute Maid, playing Texas and Rice, and either Texas Tech or Houston. I'm not sure who they're going to match us up against. Gonzaga twice, UNLV, Nevada. Gonzaga, Oral Roberts, those type of people, those pretty good teams. Missouri, that's a pretty good schedule.
You mentioned Anderson summer. Anybody else kind of jump up there even earlier?
Well, Serrano played on two teams. I mean, he played almost every day. He played out of a team in Tucson. He played out of the Firebird team out of Phoenix. They lost in the championship game of the Connie Mack World Series. He just got done playing. He's probably a little tired, but he just turned 18 about a month ago. He's very young. He had a good summer, hitting in the 3-hole. He broke the record for doubles in Arizona last year, also drove in 69 runs. And he's not a power hitter. He's a line drive hitter. He's a hitter. And that's what we need, as you guys know. Anderson didn't play because his arm was bothering him. Maybe the Twins told him not to play or in the field because he could get hurt, but he hit 18 home runs. He can hit, and he can run, and he can really throw. Like I said, I feel fortunate that that he got here. And he played on the same high school team with Fulmer, who signed. So I know he had that in his mind that he probably wanted to sign and just didn't feel like they gave him the money he deserved. I think he'll get a lot of money in 3 years, so that's exciting.
You got the current players scattered all over playing summer ball. What kind of feedback can you give us update? Who's doing well?
Well, they're all back. They're all done. We had guys do really well, from Reynolds, Stanek out in Cape Cod did extremely well. Barrett Aston, they loved him out there. He started a couple games at the end of the year, and he wants to be a starter here, obviously. The coaches are already calling and wanting our guys back next year because a lot of those guys were underclassmen. Stanek pitched extremely well. When he got up to 100 innings, we told him we wanted him to quit. We need to get done. You need to get done. Get back home. And he pitched a couple, 3 games with Team USA. Then went back and pitched, for his Cape Cod team, and then he's been done for about 3 weeks. And I could go on and on. They were everywhere, and we had a lot of guys play ball. I think it's going to help them. With the numbers that we have in here this year, I think that some of the older guys, we will leave them out of some scrimmages where they'll be working on the side, lifting a little bit more, resting, whatever the case may be, to get them ready for next year and let some of these younger guys get a lot of action. And then obviously when we get into our red-white series, we'll have them all out there.
When you guys start fall practice, how many practices
we start September 9th. It's on a Friday. I think that we have to be off the field 45 days later, which is around the 23rd of October, which may be another Friday. I'm not sure. And I would think with the number of pitchers that we have that we will go 7-game series this year. And we've been just really fortunate to keep some position players and build up depth in our pitching staff with some good young pitchers. So I'm excited about it.
Time for a couple more.
Have you thought about, Dave, this whole thing with Texas A&M and Missouri, whoever it is, how it would affect you guys if something like that happened?
Well, I think that the teams that have been mentioned, the schools, the universities that have been mentioned, they all play very good baseball. And I think we already have one of the top leagues in the country, maybe the top to bottom, and it would just add to that. Whatever they decide is fine with me. You can start looking at the dynamics of it. Do we get 2 more teams, 1 more team? It's how you going to play the tournament, who you're not going to play from the other division, are we going to play 36 more games, or 6 more games to go to 36 conference games, or 39, or how they're going to work it? I don't know. I think it just shows you that the SEC is such a good league. There's a lot of teams that like to be in it, be a part of it, and I'm sure something will happen over the next year or two, and then it may snowball. But whatever the the President's League commissioner they decide, it's all good with us.
Is Matt Degg still down there in Texas A&M?
No, he wasn't there all year last year. Yeah, we brought that up. Oh, Childress is there. Yeah, Rob. I hung out with Rob a couple of days. He's the head coach. I've talked to Rob a couple of times.